Hey guys, welcome back. My name's Caleb Bridges. I'm the Residence Director of Pembroke Hall once again. And today's devotional topic is stillness. Now, when I say the word stillness, silence, or being alone, what are some of the first things that come to your mind? Well, if you're an extrovert, that might sound pretty depressing to you. If you're an introvert, however, that probably sounds pretty good. But what I would say is whether you're an extrovert or an introvert, I think stillness and silence and taking the time to be alone and to be quiet is important for all of us. I think it plays an especially important role in our devotional lives. But I think it's also good for just our general personal and mental health to take some time to really reflect on things. If you know me, you know I love C.S. Lewis. And so I've got a quote by C.S. Lewis that I want to read. C.S. Lewis says this. He says, "We live in fact in a world starved for solitude, silence, and privacy, and therefore starved for meditation and true friendship." I think this topic of being still and silent and really collecting ourselves is something that's so important for us, especially today. And I think it's especially important for you as RAs, because I think many times for you guys, you're so busy giving yourself away to your residents. You're constantly pouring your life into the people around you. You're busy with school, you're busy with your social life, you're busy with work-related stuff. It's important for us and for you specifically in your job as an RA to take time to be alone, to kind of be quiet, to collect yourself. I think this is especially an important topic in today's age. We have found a way in today's society to create a world where we're never quiet. I mean, think about it for a minute. If we're driving in our cars, we have the radios on. If we're in our apartment in our dorm room or something like that, we constantly have the television on. We're always eating, or we're sleeping, or we're talking to somebody, or we're on our phone, or we're at school, or we're at work. We're so busy and we're always doing something that we never really take the time to think about things, to dwell on just our relationship with God, our relationship with other people. What are my dreams? What are my aspirations? What do I want to be doing? What are mistakes that I possibly make? What kind of things do I want to correct? And when we're always pouring things into our head, we're staying so constantly occupied mentally that we really can't take the time to really reflect on much. I can't help but laugh sometimes when I look at social media, just because I feel like, most of us can't barely eat a meal or go to the bathroom without posting something about it on Facebook. Social media has also played this role of, hey, if I don't have something to do, I can find something to do. In fact, it's not only a problem in the sense that we're so busy, we just can't help it. I think it's an issue where we almost crave to always have something going on. I've talked to some people and they tell me, hey, if I'm alone in my dorm room, I feel like I need to turn the television on because I need something to be going on. Or if I'm in my car and I'm driving down the road, I need the radio on. It's almost like we want distraction. And I don't think it's always a good thing. I think it's important, if we're one of those people who feels like we need something happening, to learn to cultivate an appreciation for silence, for being still, for collecting ourselves. Stillness, silence, and being alone allows us the time and the freedom from distraction to collect ourselves. I think it helps us think through our days. So what are the things I want to accomplish today? Like, what goals do I have for myself? I think we can process our thoughts. We can really reflect on maybe some of the mistakes we made. We can think about the things of, ooh, I wish I hadn't said this or done this. I want to do this thing differently. It helps us to really start looking and reflecting on, am I heading in the direction that I really want to go? I think it helps us prepare for struggles that are coming up. If I know I'm about to have some difficult situation, I'm able to begin to start working on it. And probably most importantly, it's hard to have any sort of devotional time with the Lord, to really read my Bible or to spend any kind of time in prayer if I'm constantly busy, if I'm constantly surrounded by people, if I constantly have distractions going on. Now, you might be one of those people who says, well, I've tried to pray and I try to spend devotional time, but my brain's so always racing with thoughts and with things I need to do. But I think that the reason this is a problem for some of us is because we're not taking the time for that stillness or that silence that is so important. A scripture verse that I think is interesting and good is Psalms 46:10. It says, "Be still and know that I am God." I think the interesting thing about this scripture verse is it says, "Be still and know that I am God." So, in other words, part of the way that we know who God is through that stillness of being still. Because I can't really learn who God is in my life. I can't really develop this relationship with Him if I'm so busy all the time. You know, it's just like a relationship with a person, whether it's a boyfriend, a girlfriend, or just a friend of yours. You can't really learn that person. You can't really get to know that person if every time they're trying to talk to you or you're trying to have a conversation with them, you're on your phone or you're doing something. The same is true with our relationship with God. In order to know Him, we have to be still with Him. Mother Teresa has a quote that I think is particularly good reflecting on this idea as well. I want to read it to you real quick. She said, "We need to find God, and He cannot be found in noise and relentlessness. God is the friend of silence. See how nature, the trees, the flowers, the grass, they all grow in silence. See the stars, the moon, and the sun. See how they move in silence. We need silence to be able to touch souls." So I want to encourage you and I want to challenge you to start trying to develop a healthy balance of learning how to appreciate stillness and silence and solitude, just being alone. And so one of the things I want to encourage you to do is schedule a time. And I really mean literally schedule a time. Write a time into your day that you can be alone, even if it's only for 10 or 15 minutes. Find a time where you can be alone and you can be still and you can be quiet. The second thing I want to encourage you to do is find a space that you can do this, because sometimes you might say, well, I'd like to do that, but I don't have any space to do that in. So find a space in which you can be, it can be silent, you can be still. You know, set a timer if you have to, if you only have a certain amount of time. Try to relax your body, quiet your mind, and try to just really focus. And I think this would be a great time to reflect on things, but also to spend some time in prayer and just really to think through where you are, where you're going, and what you hope to be doing and achieving. So I hope this video has been encouraging to you. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned for more videos.